today's topic we will take as a why Python and where we use Python. Okay, so I'm trying to give you based on your profile. So that's why I'm asking you about your profile. If you can give that, it would be good for you. Otherwise, we will continue our session. Okay, let me introduce you myself. I'm Mujahid, having 15 plus year experience in IT, and I'm working as a data scientist. Before I was working as a cloud engineer, and then I moved to DevOps, means cloud ops basically, and then I moved my career with the machine learning and deep learning stuff. So in this area, I'm working, and presently I am working as a Swiss technology employee. So this is my little bit introduction. Recently, I'm working as a freelancer as well and training. Training is my passion. I just want to share my experience with others. Experience with others. I'm not especially a trainer, but I'm especially as a pure professional in industrial level excellence. I work with different projects as a architect level projects also I work. I have certification in solution architect level certification of cloud. I work in different clouds like AWS, Azure, and GCP, Google Cloud Platform. And in that, I started my career with this AWS. I have good experience in AWS. I have certification in AWS, solution architecture. Now I'm working with Python since I have 10 plus year experience in Python, especially what I am trying to give you. In that, whatever we share you syllabus, it's very interesting. If you see that contents of that syllabus, if you not get this syllabus, I'll definitely request to, you can request to Vasu and get the contents. We cover in that content cloud computing basically, which is something new. Python, obviously we will cover the Python, the core level Python, the fundamental, and then we will focus on language, and then we will focus on the script. As usually we will focus on a script. We will not focus on more on language, we will focus on script only more. Why I'm telling you to go with a script, because the benefit of a script is what we can work in these areas whatever you share with me, one thing. And another thing is what we will make as a interactive Python, not like writing a bunch of code and then executing it through program, but we will focus on interactive Python. That means it's like an SQL, you can say an SQL prompt. If you see SQL prompt, in that we will write select star from EMP, that's it, simple. So same thing we will write here program, and then we will focus on interview questions, which is important for you, question and answer. Then we will focus on projects, depends on your interest how much you can gather. And then we will focus on cloud computing, which is related to Python. Which is related to Python, and then some little bit about Docker. So these all things we will cover in our contents, and based on these contents, if we whatever we have doubts and questions, you can ask me. Our session we will not take more than 45 minutes. I'm trying to give more than that, but I don't want to give you more than understanding. So that definitely I'll not take more 45 minutes. If you accept that 45 more than 45 minutes, then only I will focus on that other sessions. The main thing is what we will focus on basically, in that we will focus on first of all the core fundamental and basically, and in that we will see why Python we required, and why Python need, and where we can use Python. These two things we will see today. So as you give me an introduction about yourself and data warehouse and big data. So let me introduce you about a little bit about this concept. Obviously, tradition is going from data warehouse to data big data and the infrastructure and Java and DevOps. So I'll go in this area little bit. So technology trends is based on some things which is very important. Your career is based on some things. Career path, you can say this is a career path. In that we will focus on the technology which we require in future. So based on few things you need to remember. You require a platform. First of all, you require a platform. Then you require automation. Then you require security. Then you require intelligence. These are the pillars of your career. Anyone should know these things. In that we will cover cloud computing. Here we need to know whether you like it or you don't like it. You should know about this. And I forget one, sorry. uh, Data. Obviously without data we cannot do anything. So we have here data, automation, security, and automation and intelligence. These are the things we should know. So we have here cloud computing. Before we have here bare metal, and then which is called on-prem, means hardware and software with you. Basically, it is a collection of hardware and software, you can say, and both collection is in with you. Then trend is going to virtualization, and after that the trend is going right now. Trend is going to cloud computing. So whether you are in this phase in your industry or you are in this phase, you should need to move on cloud computing. Remember, this is the last stage where you want to move in future. Okay. And the zeroth number is Python language or script. You can say script. I'll come later about this script. There are two scripts here, JavaScript and Python. Two are the remaining players. Others, you have more than. I have experience of 17 programming language, but all are wastage. Only two is important. I have certification of OCGP and CAD and other stuff also, PHP, COBOL, and other programming language like Perl. But I found this is the best for us for future. I'll come later about this point. But remember, only two is the remaining play. Here, only cloud computing is remaining play. Then data. There are three types of data as per my experience. One is the traditional data, which is called RDBMS. We usually use in Oracle or any SQL database. And another one is basically another data we have big data, what you discuss. Here we use Hadoop, Apache Hadoop or Cloudera or Hortonworks like that. And another one is we have new data. This is coming into the market, and that data is based on IoT. These are the three types of data we have in the market. So this data is called commodity data, means you have some compliances here, and this is non-compliances basically. Okay. So
Mujahid, what is IoT?
internet of internet of things. Basically here you will communicate with your hardware.
Internet.
So hardware, internet of things, IoT.
Oh,
This is
Internet
one
of
type of
Things.
technology. You will communicate with the hardware. Example is drone, or you can say example is a robot, or you can say example of automated home. So these are the example, like communicating between your AC and your TV. And When you come into your home, then it will automatically open your AC, and it will open your time based on your interest or mood. It will open your TV, and it will open whatever you require, and lights, and based on the adjustment. So this is one type of field. There are multiple fields we have, and that data we need to store through somewhere, and we can store somewhere data using some scripting language only. It is possible to use in here also we use two languages, Node.js or Python. Only two languages, remember. Like Raspberry Pi, Arduino, and ThinPC. These are the examples of hardware where we can create our own Internet of things. If you want more about this, we have Mule software also. Recently, if you can see Mule, Moley, Mule Robots Kitchen Software. So I'll give you detail about this IoT also. But remember, there are two players remaining here. Only two players: Node.js and Python. Node.js means completely JavaScript, and Python is you can use anywhere. So automation also, here also in cloud computing you need to use multiple languages we have. Recently they will provide different languages like Java, .NET, or PHP or Python, but most probably everyone they are preferring Python and JavaScript. That means it can be Node.js or any other language. Okay, so React.js or another JavaScript. So only two players are remaining, Python and JavaScript in platform. In data, also you need to use here before Java using in Hadoop using Java, and instead of that Spark using Scala. And Scala, they are preferring PySpark instead of Scala Spark. They are not preferring Scala Spark. They are preferring PySpark, remember. So this is also not that much mature as compared to PySpark. Everyone they are preferring PySpark. So in big data field also, PySpark means Python. Py means Python. It is a combination of Python plus Spark. So Spark is big data technology and Python is our main thing. So here in platform also we prefer Python. If you are in this phase, you are in infrastructure area, so you need to manage the infrastructure through bare metal, then you need to move into virtualization, then you need to move in cloud computing. And here after that you need to use any one scripting language. And for scripting language we have Python and JavaScript. So if your career is here, you should know Python. Remember. Another, if your career is here, for if you know 39% usage is increase in Python. So obviously we will prefer, if you are in Oracle DBA, if you are database administrator DBA, then also you need to prefer Python. Why? Because 39% usage is Python preferable. One thing. Another thing is what, if you are using Hadoop or if you are in big data domain, you should know first Hadoop and then in Java, then you need to move on Spark and then Scala, then finally you need to move on PySpark. Now market trend is going as PySpark more. And what is PySpark? Is a combination of Spark and Python. So here also, if you are in big data field, you should know Python. So remember, if you are in cloud computing, you should know Python. If you are in traditional database or Oracle DBA, then also you should know Python. If you are in big data, you should know Python. If you are in new data, you should know Python. And if you are in another area like DevOps automation, there are two types of automation: software automation and hardware automation. In if you are in software automation, hardware automation is totally based on electronic. So I'm not focusing on this area. This require many things, but different. Remember, this also require you Python more. And software automation, there are two types of automation: DevOps and SysOps. If you are in a system administrator, then you should know SysOps. And if you are a developer and then you are moving to automation, then you should know DevOps. These two fields require you Python for automation or shell scripting. You should know to go in these two fields. Again, after this, first DevOps, then SysOps. People, they are moving from DevOps to SysOps to CloudOps, and from CloudOps to AIOps. Obviously, we have security here. I forget to mention security. Also, we have SecDevOps, and also we have SysOps. So that means at the path end of the path is AIOps, and AIOps require you multiple things, ML, or you can say intelligence system, AI, artificial intelligence plus scripting. And for scripting, you require your Python. Best is Python. They prefer best is Python. I recently given this AIOps training, and this also require you Python and AI, artificial intelligence parts. So remember, if you are in this area, your path is here, your journey is here, and your destination is here, basically AIOps. And AIOps require you artificial intelligence and scripting. And in scripting, they prefer Python. So everyone, they require Python. Now come to the security. If somebody is interested in security, you remember the best security in the world is NASA. They are also preferring Python. So if NASA is preferring Python, we don't have any argument to prefer any other language. Remember, that's one. Come to the intelligence part. Intelligence, we have two things: AI and data scientist. Data scientist and AI both preferring Python. They are preferring two language, Python and R. If you see the status of that, Python is going more than 85% in the industry. So they prefer Python more than R. So here also Python is preferable. So anywhere in the world, if you go any area, any stream, that's why any career you are going, you should know Python. You should know Python wherever you are from. You should know Python in detail. Otherwise, your career is done. So there are different things in Python. Remember, not only simple thing. Python having multiple things, like Java only having one thing is called language. Python is language, Python is scripting, Python is development environment, Python is automation environment. Anywhere you can use it. So remember, Python we can use anywhere. That means you can write whole program in one file, or you can write line by line code, line by line. Example is like Java or C language. If you see complete program file, okay. An example here is SQL, like select star from simple command. So whether you use language or scripting, you should follow the Python. This is the main thing. Now come to the point: who uses Python? Who uses Python? Okay, I'm telling Python is best, but for my suggestion, you should use Python. But if somebody is using, you should know who is using Python. Then only you need to prefer. The world best leader, world IT leader, they are preferring Python. Remember. Let me introduce you one by one. Suppose if you want to go with text processing domain, text processing, the world largest text processing process is Google search engine, right? So they are also preferring Python. So this is the leader. They are also preferring. In which domain they are preferring? Text processing, search engine. Video processing. If you are coming to the video processing, here also we have YouTube, the world best. They are also using Python. Now come to the security. The world best security, NASA, they are also using Python. Come to the cloud computing. Cloud computing, AWS and others like Dropbox also using Python. Come to the distributed system. Distributed system means very advanced level, and like BitTorrent, if you know very well about that. BitTorrent also using Python. The complex system, which is very complex, if you understand the BitTorrent concept, it's very complex, and this distributed system also they are using Python. So you cannot deny about the Python and the usage of Python, because the IT leaders, world IT leader, best IT leader, they are following Python. Even in IoT domain, Raspberry Pi also using Python. Also using Python. Others like Arduino also using Python and other stuff. So anywhere you go, you will find Python is preferable. So that's why if Mujahid is saying Python is good, don't trust him, because he has only 15 years of experience. But these people, they are IT leaders in the world. They are preferring Python. Then you need to prefer the Python. I'm not telling you to prefer Python, because IT leader says this is you to prefer Python. That's why. So remember, and the main thing is what, how we select the technology, how we select the career or technology or skill set, anyone, skill or tool or anything. Remember, to select a skill set or tool, they prefer, why they are IT leaders, because they are selecting best and prefer best tool for their organization and their domain. Suppose Google is the highest ranking search engine, right? If you see top one is Google. Why? Because Google decision is best. How they select this tool, how they select, why they select Python, they select based on some media. Like we have two types of media. Remember, public media, and another is business media. This is very very important, whether you want to join or not, I am not worried. But remember two things: public media and business media. These two types of media we have. Remember, public media is like Z News or Aaj Tak, Kal Tak, whatever they have, or anyone, BBC or anything, or anything XY, etc. I'm not worrying. These people, these are the channels, okay? And these people, they say we don't trust them more than 100%. We trust 40 to 70%, because sometimes they are telling liars, right? So this is the problem. But business media is trustable. You can trust them 100%. Why? They are not worrying about the news, they are worrying about the future. They will focus on past, what happened in past, and they will focus on future. So industry, they prefer this business media. Who uses this business media? Google uses business media, Facebook uses business media, or any industry IT leaders, they are using. IBM uses business media, Oracle uses business media. Everyone, they are using, following in business media. And the here, who is using business public media? We are people, they are industry people, general people, they are following the public media. So this is free of cost, free. And here they need to pay, paid based service. Business media is paid based service. If they give you some news, it is free, totally free. Maybe they will charge you for other stuff like a newspaper or cable connections, but it is totally free. But here it is paid. They will not show you future without money. So how they will show you these things? Using white papers. And in that white papers already written, you need to follow Python, because this is the future. So these people, they already selected in their domain Python. Why? Because they know this is the future. That's why they select the Python preferable. That's why I accept maybe Google search engine having multiple languages also, like Go language also they are preferring, but they have Python as well. They have some another language also like JavaScript they also have here, but they have Python. Remember, in Python instead of NASA, they have another language also maybe, but they have Python. So my preferable is what Python, and these people they are preferring Python using the media, and that media is business media, and it is 100% trustable. Why? Because it is paid. It's not like free and advertisement other stuff. So how you can find out this business media? There are different types of business media: IDC, Gartner, Forbes. These are the business media. You know what is the price of this business media? I'll share with you. I'll share you the paper after this session also, if possible. So the 15 pages of news, or you can say 15 pages white paper, how much they cost? $45,000. This is the cost. So you should understand the value of business media news. This is the paid service, 15 pages. If you ask to your father or your senior and give me $45,000 to buy a booklet of 15 pages, they will give you? Never they will give you. But if you say, I know the future and which is written in 15 pages, can you give me $45,000? They can. Why? Because it is trustable, 100% trustable. Who is the customer? Google, Facebook, IBM, Oracle. These IT leaders, they are the customers. IT leaders, you can say IT leaders. These IT leaders, they are preferring the business media. We will select based on what is in market. How we select? Because Google is using Python, that's why we are following Python. Because Facebook is using this thing, then that's why we are focusing. But how they are deciding? These also are people, they also have some decision, they want to make some decision. So that's why they are preferring through business media. Remember, this is the secret of how the technology is selected, how technology or tool or anything, how the future is selected. So these people they are ahead than us, more than 20 years, 10 years again. So this is the main benefit. So come to the main point. So the main thing is what we are come to the our points. Why Python? Okay. So we understand why Python, because every IT leaders they are following Pythons, and who uses Python we understand. Okay, these two things we understand today. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. It is very interesting topic today. So if you have any question, you can ask me. You can clear your doubts. Any question, guys?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, go ahead. Hello. Any question?
I think he typed in the message. What is the use of white paper?
White paper is used to take the decision. It will give you the future, future stuff. What is going on in future? Which one we need to follow? This is the purpose of white paper. In white paper, they will return what is happening in future, and which language, which things you need to select, and what is going in down, what is going up, means who is trending stuff in future, which is written in white paper. If you want, I will share with you some white paper also. So these are the you can say these are the area where we can get the white papers, and they are not talking about only Oracle or Google. They are talking what is in future, and that's it. They are finding the future stuff, analyzing the future. They are researchers, they are trying to find out the future technology, And these people, they said already Python is the best, and that's why they are using Python. Google also using Python. That's why we need to prefer Python first. Any questions, other? Any question, guys?
No.
So remember, because of this area career path, we need to focus on the scripting. Any one scripting you should know. You should know any one platform. The best platform is cloud computing. You should know any one database data. It can be a traditional or big data or new data. But you need to focus on B and C, big data and new data, because already people they know traditional data. And another one is automation. In automation we have DevOps, SysOps, SysOps, and then CloudOps. Then finally we have AIOps, and each of them they require operations. They require a scripting language, and best scripting language for operation is two: is shell scripting and Python scripting. So that's why we prefer Python, because Python, if you learn one time, you can invest anywhere, whether you are going with cloud computing, whether you are going with big data technology, whether you are going with IoT or any automation field, or in security, or even you can go with data scientist area or artificial intelligence area. Anywhere if you go, you will find out the best is the Python. Like KD Nuggets is the one. Here you can remember KD Nuggets. We have here one KD Nuggets, KD Nuggets here. So they are also the business media. Like we have here public media. Here also we have business media KD Nuggets. They are preferring Python is the best tool. I'll share you the complete content about that, so you can get the idea about it. Okay. So from tomorrow onwards we will focus on the Python. Meanwhile you can understand how to run the Python, simple one. Hello, some simple addition program. After installing the Python, you should understand how it works. You need to write a program. Can you see my run prompt? Anyone? Can you see my run prompt?
Yes, I can see.
Uh-huh. So here you need to write CMD, or you can write directly Python. After writing Python, if you install properly, I'll show you tomorrow how to install Python in different environment, because I need to buy a server in cloud, and then I'll buy it and keep for you, and then I will install in multiple type of operating system, and then after installing, I'll show you how to install. Now today, I'll just consider we already installed the Python, then run the Python from run prompt. If you run the Python, it will give you this type of environment, and this is called Python terminal, or you can say Python prompt, interactive Python prompt. And here it will give you the version, which version I installed in my system. So this is the version, and this is the Python prompt, and here you can write any program. So this is your Python. So it will give you simple output. And when you write some expression or equations or anything, even some instructions, it will try to execute that, and it will give you the output here. So here you can write hello world or welcome message, anything. Welcome to Python. So it will display or the exact message what are you trying to display. So this is the simple Python. We are trying to focus on the installation from tomorrow onwards, and I'll focus on the base to advanced details about Python. Okay. So we will see tomorrow same time. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me and Vasu. Any question if you have, you can ask us. Okay.
Okay.
We'll see.